Good evening, and welcome to the 11th Next Day Air FSTS graduation of 2023. We've graduated 147 frontline supervisors so far, and tonight we celebrate the graduation of 15 more, and I couldn't be more proud of you guys. Each one of you brings something unique to the role that you're in, and I hope this class has shed some light on some things that you guys need to do to become even more effective at your already tough but most important job here on the front line. But now you guys face the difficult part. You have to take what you've learned over the last 2 weeks and take it back to the operation. And it's kind of easy to fall back on old habits. So I kind of equate this as like going to the gym. You're going to go to the gym and you try to work out and you try to make some gains. And after the first couple of weeks or so, you're going to look in the mirror and you might not really see a whole lot of results, but you're going to start feeling a little bit better. But if you look in the mirror 4 or 5 months down the road, you're going to see a completely new person. If you take these skills and these people skills, these soft skills that we have taught you in class, and you apply them to your work area, you're going to see the exact same thing. It's not going to happen overnight. We've told you guys you have to have patience to make this change, right? So let's go back and let's talk about some of these things that we've learned over the last 2 weeks or so. And remember, long after this class is over, RD and I will be here to back you guys up. If you need anything, we want you to be just as successful as your management team does. So over the last 2 weeks, we learned the difference between leading and managing and how one's an appointed title and the other's looked up to as a great role model. You manage tasks, but you lead people, and there's times that we need you guys to be both. Remember the importance of leading all your employees and not just 80%, because inclusion can create a team that's 50% more productive. Remember the importance of being fair and consistent and not lenient on your employees. Accountability works if it's administered correctly. It's designed to change people's habits and not terminate people. Remember to engage with your employees. You need to build that special bond with each and every one of them. Your employees won't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Remember how important attitude is. And remember the things we covered here in class aren't just UPS lessons, but they're life lessons as a whole. No matter where you are in life, start singing in the mud if you need to, and don't ever, ever ring that bell. The class wouldn't be the same if it wasn't for Worldport management team coming in and actually giving some of these presentations. I thank them for everything they've done in the past, and I thank them for their efforts going forward. I'd like to extend a special thanks to Jeff Semenick and Jeff Sirota for their talking points, and to Norman Seawright, who always wraps the class up with things that we have covered in the class. I wish you guys had been able to hear Sirota talk, and I'll actually review one of the things that he actually covers while when he does come in to talk to FSTS. Jeff Semenick reinforces the importance of safety, retention, and relationship building with your employees. Sirota talks about numerous things, but he tells you all the results don't mean a thing unless it makes your employees feel prideful and creates a prideful environment. Norman reinforces the difference between leading and managing. He stresses the importance of teamwork and planning. He brings home the importance of relationship building by building that bond with you guys and by learning your names in the very short 2 hours that he is here. Norm, we thank you for all you do. Now I'd like to turn the podium over to RD, who continues to be a solid asset to FSTS. RD.
Good evening. I would first like to start by thanking the Worldport management team for sending us your soups, for without which we would not be able to do what we do class to class. Thank you. To the class. You all should be very proud of everything that you've done. You may not feel that you've done anything great, but you all have left great contributions in the class. You've taken away information from a class, and I have full faith, and James has full faith, that you guys are going to take the things that you've learned and take them out to the operation, feed your people, develop a team, and create a culture. A couple of things I want to say before we get started. In everything that you do, get an understanding. Do not cry that you know until you have understood. When you understand a process and you understand a way, it's far easier for you to convey that idea to your people. Second, we starts with I. Assess yourselves daily, inspect yourselves daily, check yourselves daily. Even when you want to be right and you know you're wrong, check yourself. When you bring out the best in yourself, it's only then that you can bring out the best in the people around you. Okay? Without further ado, we will start our graduation. Daniel. Daniel was voted most improved. Congratulations, Daniel.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Daniel Castro. I work in the one-day small store outbound. Throughout my time in FSTS, I've learned a plethora of new skills. And for that, I would like to thank my management team, Karen Barrera, and Jonathan McSwain for allowing me to attend FSTS and giving me the opportunity to learn new skills that I'll be able to take with me throughout my entire life. Thank you.
Alexus. Alexus scored a perfect test score and was a part of the winning competition team. Congratulations, Alexus.
Good evening. My name is Alexus Botner, and I work in the one-day de-ice department. I would like to thank my management team, Dominic Murphy and Jeremiah Hargrove, for allowing me 2 weeks to attend FSTS. And throughout FSTS, I've learned many skills, but I think the most important one is building the relationships with our people, because our employees are what move our operations, and without them, we wouldn't be able to get any of this done. Thank you.
Leanna. Leanna was the Knowledge Bee winner, scored a perfect test score on her test, and was a part of the winning competition team. Congratulations, Leanna.
Good evening. My name is Leanna Morgan, and I work in Wing H. First, I would like to thank my management team, Joe Brasher and Josh Dean, for allowing me to spend 2 weeks here at FSTS. Out of all the information I learned in these last 2 weeks, I believe that accountability is the most important, and in order to develop your team and work together, you have to be able to hold your people accountable. Thank you.
Grant. Congratulations, Grant.
Hello, my name is Grant Brown. I work in the Next Day Air North Court Unloads. First off, I'd like to thank my management team, Chad Brewer and Timmy Smith, for allowing me 2 weeks at FSTS to learn just everything, honestly. A lot of valuable information, and if I had to pick one thing, it would also be accountability, but not only for my employees, but accountability of myself, because, you know, who am I to hold them accountable if I can't even do that for myself? Thank you.
Colin. Congratulations, Colin.
Good evening. My name is Colin Swearinger. I work in the shift operation in Great Lane. I would like to thank my management team, Andrew McCormick and Melvin Lewis, for allowing me to attend this 2-week class. Of the many things that I've learned at FSTS, I would say the most important has been networking and the ability to learn new soups and new ideas that I can take back to my operation and put my name back out there. Thank you.
Sam. Sam scored a perfect test score. Congratulations, Sam.
Good evening. My name is Sam Galloway, and I work in 1DA Freight in the check-in yard. I would like to thank my management team, Breezy Johnson and Andy Jones, for allowing me 2 weeks to attend FSTS. Of the many important things I learned in FSTS, the most important would have to be communication. Clear communication with our employees, our fellow frontline soups, and our upper management is essential to a smooth operation. Thank you.
Michael. Michael scored a perfect test score. Congratulations, Michael.
Good evening. My name is Michael Sullivan. I work in the Next Day Air Building 2 Unload, and first and foremost, I would like to thank my management team, Amy Loudon and Timmy Smith, for allowing me the 2 weeks to come out and see everything FSTS had to offer. Of the many things that I learned, which were a lot, the most important, I believe, was the matter of inclusion. Everyone in your area feeling included will not only allow them to be more comfortable in their work environment, but it also increases workflow as well. Thank you.
Mitchell. Mitchell won the Jim Casey Legacy Award. Congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Mitchell Harmon. I work on the day side on Building 1 on the Black Yellow one. I'd like to take this time to thank my management team, Darren Myers and Liz Higginson, for allowing me these 2 weeks to complete these FSTS classes. Of the many things that we learned in FSTS class, the one that stuck out with me the most, the one that sticks with me the most, would be building relationships. And it's not necessarily just the ones that we build with our employees, but also the ones we build with our coworkers, our other levels of management. Being able to communicate properly and asking them what we need to be successful out there is very, very important. Thank you.
Zach had a perfect test score. Congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Zachary Caudill. I work on the Wing C ramp. I would like to thank my management team, Matthew Murphy and Shane Miller, as well as Mike Perkins, for allowing me 2 weeks to attend FSTS. Of the many things that I learned in FSTS, one of the most important things is the significance of a motivated team. If you prioritize your people, ensuring they want to come into work and get things done the right way every night, your operation will see an immense impact. And just piggybacking off of that a bit, understanding that some tasks are more challenging than you realize, your people may not have the capacity to complete certain tasks, such as tying a bow tie. Thank you.
Damien had a perfect test score. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Damien Tucker. I work on the one-day wingy ramp. I would like to thank my management team, Gerald Wolf, Steve Gumble, and Justin DeRose, for allowing me to be a part of this class for the past 2 weeks. Of the many things I learned from FSTS, the most important thing was the difference between a leader and a manager. Going back into my operation, I plan on not only being a great manager, but being the best leader that my employees have ever seen. Thank you.
Matthew had a perfect test score. Congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Matthew Tannehill. I work in the one-day Wing H feeder outbound. I would like to thank my management team, Ross Hambrick and Josh Dean, for allowing me to attend FSTS. Over the last several weeks, I've learned a lot. Most importantly, the need to build relationships with our people, as it fosters inclusion and improves our work environment. Thank you.
Elizabeth was voted best dressed and had a perfect test score. Congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Elizabeth McGee, and I work in the freight fly mod area. I'd like to thank my management team, Brad Wright and Lisa Reed, for allowing me these 2 weeks to attend FSTS. I'd also like to thank James and RD for giving us all the opportunity to not only improve as supervisors, but also to help us become more well-rounded people as individuals. Of the many things I have learned in FSTS, communication, understanding, and support stood out to me. If you support others, then they'll support you, and we can all share in the success. Thank you.
Quaron had a perfect test score. Congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Quaron White, and I work on Mod H in the freight facility. I would like to thank my management team, Jim White and Taylor Eldridge, for allowing me to attend 2 weeks at FSTS. Out of the many things I've learned at FSTS, the most important tool I took from this class is the power of communication. Communication is not only important of what you say, but it's how you say it as well. Thank you.
Dylan was voted best dressed and had a perfect test score. Congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Dylan Pike, and I work in the small sort primary. I would like to thank my management team of Jason Kendall and Allison Lockhart for allowing me the 2 weeks to attend FSTS. Throughout the course, we learned many things. The part that seemed the most important to me was the concept of leader versus manager. It resonated with me greatly because I have a history in sports, and it just kind of stuck. The idea that with only leading through the title you have, you're pretty much destined to fail. Thank you.
And now, with tonight's legacy reading, is Mitchell.
First off, I want to say thank you to everybody for voting me, or those that did vote for me for Legacy. I'm pulling from specifically a part in the Legacy book called People and High Motives and Honest Hearts. I'm just going to read this quick paragraph. Every day, like each of you, I see operating reports, production statistics, and other papers dealing with odd or cold, hard facts of our business. The figures on those papers are, for the most part, already old when we get them. They sometimes contain red ink, but never warm red blood. And I know that's a little macabre there, but basically what Jim Casey was trying to say there is that all these numbers, all these statistics, all these things that we see on a day-to-day basis, scanning frequencies, load times, all that stuff, is reflective of actual people. And when he talks about no red or not having red blood there, it's hard to express those thoughts, those actions in those figures, and words hardly ever work as well. Maybe not so much think of it as an organization as a great mass of nameless people who are just here for wages. Rather think of us as, say, 10,000 people as separate, distinct individuals, rather than and different in a variety of ways other than the 9,999. Basically, you can find plenty of people who are going to be similar in many aspects, but there's always going to be differences amongst them. And so when you are approaching another person out there, it's best to treat that person as a unique individual as opposed to, well, I've already dealt with this person before. Jim Casey says, averages don't mean anything. The thing to do is to find out what each person is really capable of doing as an individual and to deal with that person as an individual. It's really hard to influence people. And so I would almost say it's impossible to maybe influence a mass. But if you can influence just the small group, specifically the groups that we are, our teams, if you can influence them, you're definitely doing something right along the lines. In our organization, each members are able to achieve a good measure of personal satisfaction. And in the process of doing that, they can also help achieve our company's goals as well by making sure that our people are set up for success, in turn can make our company be set up for success. And so these mutually desirable results will follow if we are all but convey to each other a clear understanding of what our purposes really are. And so in turn, best to go out there, if someone has a question about the operation, explain it to them. Say, this is why we do this. You might learn something in the process. Obviously, and more so than not, the employee is going to be learning something, but you very well could learn something about yourself, about your employee, about the operation, just by listening and building those relationships. And really the only thing else I have to say going forward, I mean, it's definitely been a pleasure being with everyone here. I don't think there's really a stranger in this room amongst ourselves. We all collaborate pretty well together. So it's very nice for everyone to have this connection. I mean, obviously we all have our own friends in our own areas, but you could almost say that this is going to be our first group of friends as supervisors. And I really hope to see you all out there in the operations. I know I'm not planning on staying in Building 1 for too long, but I'll at least probably be there through peak season. But who knows? I might go to the ramp. I might go to freight. I might go out to the small sort. I mean, anywhere. So hopefully you guys keep it up going, and I hope to see you guys out there. Thank you.
Great job, Mitchell. Thank you. Class, you chose well. Thank you, Class 15. You guys have done an incredible job. You've been a fun class. I think you owe yourself a big round of applause. Graduation's over. Go have some fun.